Well, good morning. This is day 9,125 of Possibility Me. A 25-year journey overcoming the obstacles of my past and living into a future that was forged by me and through me by a God who loves me and has a plan for us to have a hope and a future. And why I can say that with such great confidence is because 25 years ago on this day, this guy fell down a mountain. He should be dead. I had a terrible accident. I took the last run of the day on a mountain in the Sierra Nevadas by Lake Tahoe. Of all places, I was at Heavenly Valley skiing with my friends. Happy birthday, happy 50th, Brian. It was just a phenomenal day, and I'd done the run for lunch, and I figured, well, why not do it at the end of the day? And my friend said, well, it sounds a little icy. And I'm like, oh, come on, chicken, let's go. Oh, all right, fine, I'll follow you down under your chair, and I'll show you how much fun it is. And it was not fun. I fell, and I fell what they estimated about 1,200 feet as I tumbled down a double diamond, 45-degree incline with this pure ice, and didn't wake up for a week. In fact, the prognosis was I should have died. I'm going to post a video a little bit later that my mom actually testifies and puts a summary to it. There's some graphic pictures, so I'll warn you now and I'll warn you then. But I just want to acknowledge and celebrate the fact that here I am, 25 years later. I've got these guys in my life. They are just incredible gifts from God. I've got a life that I can't believe. Here I am, 25 years later, growing, learning, when really I should be dead. And here I am, able to say with confidence that despite all our circumstances, all the evidence we may collect, that right now is terrible, because look at all the past things that have led to here and all the present circumstances that are coming in our lives that make it hard. But, and then we can even predict based on all those past things and our present circumstances what lies ahead in the future. But I tell you, there's something beyond the future that we can see. There's something that we can actually live into when we see that there is a perfect future, a place where we're with God forever. And I'm not an evangelist. I'm just a guy who shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here right now, and I am so thankful. I can't let this day go by. 25 years of realizing I shouldn't be here, and that is something to share, something to talk about, something to be encouraged by. We all have our problems. We are all struggling in some way. Maybe some of us struggle more visibly. Maybe some of us struggle like me on the inside. A head injury has a residual impact, and for so long I was in denial that it affected me in any way. And it still does today. I'm still working through some of the things that come from having beaten my head against a mountain for 1,200 feet and then been resistant to it. But I just wanted to share a couple words because we're coming into this decade, and it's been great. It's February 5th, 2020, 25 years from the day that I fell down a mountain, and the word I still am taking on is humility for this year and really forever. I took that word on every day last year and just really experienced that I am so far from being humble. And I sometimes get envious of people who are just naturally, gracefully. They're not being less than, they're just being great, but being great while being great. They're not, applauding their own good efforts. So a couple other words, though, besides grace and humility, that I think will help us all finish strong. Well, one, we have to have belief. We have to believe that we can finish strong and that God has a plan for you and I. With that, who are we? What's our identity? What do we actually think that we are, because one of the things I've realized is I'm an athlete, or at least athletic, because I'm doing a half Ironman in like 80 some days, and it's crazy. But then we need to trust that identity that we now have belief in. So again, belief, identity, trust. And here's the piece that, it sometimes seems like we're not able, but he is able. Transformation is that next piece. If we can understand that there is a process, we may not understand it, it will happen if we allow it. If we can just trust that it will happen inside of the identity of who we are because we believe that, we will be transformed in new creations. 2 Corinthians 5:17 talks about the old is gone, the new has come, we are transformed. And then finally, nothing works without integrity. Integrity in what we believe, integrity in who we believe we are and whose we are, integrity in what we trust in and who we trust in, and certainly integrity in the transformation that we experience in our lives, not as something we do, but who we're being. And inside of that transformation, being is really all there is to it. We are not human doings, but often all we're caught in is an ongoing process of doing and doing and doing. So today I challenge you to be the light that you are, to shine brightly in the dark places of your life and others, to bring compassion, humility, grace. I am so thankful for the gift that God gave me. I'm so thankful for some of the insights he's given me. Those 5 words are so powerful, but there's a word that I want to include in that. It's part of my 5 rules for living. It's part of the beliefs I have. And it's not something that we generate when we try and work harder and harder and harder to learn and persist and grow. It's called faith. It's the rule 0 of all of life's rules. And it's not something we can make. Faith is a gift we're given, and we have to ask. Some of you have not asked because you don't believe you can receive. When I was an atheist, and I was an atheist for, 18, I was definitely bought into the atheist religion by 18, and that lasted until really 26 years old, so 8 years. And I wasn't the kind of guy that argued with you. I was just the kind of guy that said, well, why tell children there is no Santa Claus? Why do that? I'm so fine if you don't believe there is no God. But what I understand now is there is. And I asked this question. I said, well, how can I pray to a God that I don't believe in and ask him questions there are no answers to? How could I do that? How could I pray to a God I don't believe in and ask him questions there are no answers to? Well, I dare you. I double dog dare you. In fact, when I had that question given, when I gave that question to a pastor, a Georgian black pastor on my ship in the Navy, he said, I triple dog dare you. Go ahead, try it. Just try it. Say a prayer. Whatever you think a prayer is, find a Bible, open that thing up, and then read. Read a page, read a passage, read a chapter. But here's what I ask, is when you're done, take a moment just to write down what you've heard and read, what questions may arise, or what answers you may be surprised to find. I'm so thankful that you've listened to this message. I have a blog. It's called possibilityme.com. It's not much on there, and I promise I'll have a post up by tomorrow, a new post about this particularly. But I just wanted to acknowledge that 25 years ago, I should have died. And thanks to God and prayer and people who cared enough to lift up those prayers, here I am. Here I am because of God's grace and mercy. And I'm so thankful. So you have a blessed day. You're awesome. Let your light shine, and God bless.